everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen and I'm really pleased to have you here. This week I am doing a cooking video and I decided to make pepper and chorizo spaghetti. This is a family favourite. We've made it quite a few times now. I did use spaghetti this time in this recipe, but I actually prefer it with linguine. I tend to buy linguine more than spaghetti actually, and I just think that it's, I don't know, there's something different about it. I prefer it with linguine anyway, so use what you'd like. I'd love it if you give it a try. If you do, then sort of leave me a message, see what you think about it, and I hope you want to try it. So thank you. If you enjoy it, please take a look at some of my other videos, and please like and subscribe. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn on the heat. So let's put on a high heat and melt the chorizo, but these are quite thin slices, so I'm going to take it easy just in case. As you can see, someone already opened the packet and started nibbling. Should be enough, to be fair, left for the dinner, so I'm just going to start throwing that in. I'm not actually even going to break it up because I'm guessing it's just going to melt away and shrivel up a little bit, because when I used to buy sliced up chorizo, it used to do that. So then I started buying the actual sausage and cutting it myself, but oh my god, trying to get the skin off of those is just a nightmare. I can't do it anymore with my hands, so gone back to the sliced version. However, I think this one probably, yeah, it's actually got milk powder and milk protein in it, whereas the sausage I was buying didn't have any milk in it, so that was why, one of the reasons why I changed, to be honest. So I think, to be honest, diced chorizo would be better. I can see this being a little bit of a pain. So I've used diced chorizo before anyway when I've made this recipe. So that's starting to heat up quickly. So I'm gonna add in the pepper. It also says to add mushrooms. I'm not going to bother. My kids and me, none of us actually like mushrooms, so there is absolutely 0 point. Obviously, just change this recipe to yourselves and your family. But as you can see, that's all coming out. Colour's coming out of the chorizo now, all that flavour. So if you've watched some of my videos, you know that I like to buy frozen chopped garlic, onions, anything to make things quicker and easier. So I think it said 4 garlic cloves. I'm just going to randomly throw in a bunch of garlic because I love garlic, and the kids don't mind if I add loads of garlic to things. So I'm going to stir all that around. Make sure that garlic doesn't catch in your pan and that it doesn't start burning, because that will not be nice. I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit, because I can see where this is really thin. It is already starting to, I don't know if you can see that, it's just catching around the edges. So I'm personally going to turn that heat right down for a minute. Okay, so stir that again. I'm just going to start adding the other ingredients in, which I just need to keep checking how much. I've got the memory of goldfish right now. So on 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. And then 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I'm only going to put 1.5. I found that a bit strong in the previous recipes when I've done that. I thought it kind of ruined the flavour a little bit actually, but I don't like wine maybe, and I'm not really a fan of vinegar either, to be fair. perhaps it just doesn't suit my taste buds. I don't know. Right, next is so the recipe calls for chili flakes. Now, some of my kids do not like hot food and we found it too hot. So instead of chili flakes, I'm just going to do some mild chili powder instead, just to give it a little bit of flavour. So literally just a little bit. But again, you can put as much or as little as you like. You can really actually jazz it up. It'd be really nice. If, like the first time I made it, I did put the chili flakes in and it was pretty hot, to be fair. I thought it had a lovely flavour though. So just do this to your taste. And I'm just going to cook that off a little bit, and then I'm going to be adding in some tomatoes and some boiling water. Just cooking out all that paste and the chilli powder. Again, making sure nothing's catching on the bottom. This is a really good non-stick pan actually, so all the flavour just literally sits at the bottom. It's nice and liquidy. It doesn't tend to burn unless you just left it there forever. It would burn, obviously. Just getting my lid ready because we need to put a lid on it. I'm going to add in one 400 gram tin of tomatoes. Got the salt in the cupboard. I've got to move camera. Just gonna add in some salt. And some pepper. Really hard to keep these slices apart and not all stuck together, which is another reason why I stopped using the sliced. Right, this is a massive packet of spaghetti. It's absolutely huge. Oh, upside down. Massive packet. I don't need all of this. I think it must be like a kilo. Okay. Yeah, 1 kilo. So we need 450 grams. I don't really measure anything, so I'm just going to roughly half it. And you literally stick the spaghetti in. It's better if you break it in half, but that takes a while to sit there breaking it all up. So that'll go down in a minute. Okay, right. So now we need a litre of boiling water. So that is 450 grams of spaghetti, one 400 gram tin of tomatoes, and then 1 litre of boiling water to get this going. I'm going to want to get all this spaghetti down into the pan. Oh, I'm going to have to break it up, aren't I? I should have done that. Oh man. We'll go down. So basically you want to get all the spaghetti down into the water and the sauce, even if you have to break it up a little bit. It's not the end of the world. And then we're going to bring that up to the boil. You can just hear it starting to boil on the underneath now, but it's going to give it a little bit longer. When it's properly boiling, I'm going to put the lid on and leave it to simmer and then we just come back to it regularly, just stirring it, making sure that the spaghetti is not stuck together and that it is in the liquid so that it's cooking properly. Okay, as you can see, it's just starting to come up to the boil now. Just going to stir it again. Just going to move that spaghetti around a bit. So it's getting softer already. It's movable, bendable, pliable, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's definitely starting to boil, so I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to turn it down on a lower heat and let it simmer for 12 to 15 minutes. You want to stir it probably twice in that time, like I said, just to make sure that the spaghetti is under all the liquid and that it's not getting stuck together, and then just test it and obviously serve the spaghetti to your liking. Okay, so I'm just going to do a stir, let all that liquid out. As you can see, you can move that spaghetti really easily now, so we're just going to get all that spaghetti muddled up, moved around. See, it's nice and soft. So that's got quite a lot of liquid left to use up yet. So we've got a little while left of the cooking, so I'm just making it nice and wet in the sauce. Really just try and separate it all out. This is good, it doesn't feel like it is sticking together or anything, which is great. So now I'm just going to push all that back in the remaining liquid, which obviously isn't as much now anymore, because we need all this liquid to disappear, which it should be just about gone by the time the time's up. So I'm just going to put the lid back on, just give it a few more minutes. Okay, so it's been, well, nearly 13 minutes. Just gonna give it another stir. As you can see, there's not so much liquid left now. So I'm just gonna let it cook for another minute or so with no lid on, just to try and evaporate the liquid, the sauce. I'll do a little close up there. This pasta looks so nice and cooked to perfection. So I don't know about you guys, in our house I like my pasta quite well done, not soggy or too soft, but I like it like cooked. Whereas my eldest much prefers it al dente. So if she's cooking pasta, then it's not to my liking, and if I'm cooking it, it's not to hers. So it's always trying to get it in the middle. Can be quite hard actually sometimes. So I'm gonna try and make this not too soft, but just as this is all evaporating out, I'm just gonna literally keep going through the liquid to get that sauce covering every bit of spaghetti. Just keep moving it around basically, and then I'm gonna dish it out for everyone. Before I dish it up, I'm just gonna add in some frozen chopped basil. Again, something else I use that's frozen. I mean, we've got to remember that actually, oh, that was maybe a little bit more than I needed. Chopped veg, fruit. We've got to remember all these things are frozen at their best possible state. There's nothing wrong with it. If I had basil in my fridge, it'd never get used up. I'd be wasting so much of it. It'd be such... Oh, but I hate wasting food. If I can avoid it, I will. And if I had a basil plant, I'd kill it. I've been there, done that, used to try and grow my own herbs, killed everything. The only thing I managed to keep alive, to be fair, are my kids and my animals. I'm not good with plants, etc. That's too much. So it's just another thing that I buy frozen, and it works for me. But it also works if you're short of time. Like I've said before, you know, just having frozen onions does save quite a lot of time with the chopping. You know, if you have any kind of medical conditions or disabilities and stuff, it is so helpful to be able to buy what you need pre-chopped. So I know it can be a little bit more expensive sometimes, but in a lot of cases it's totally worth it. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop chatting and get this dished up now. And that is my red pepper and chorizo spaghetti.